Hello everyone, Archana is here. Welcome to the 21st session of presentation, ICSE Class 10, Paper 1 English Language. In today's class, let us deal with the grammar topic, transformation of sentences. So in English, there are three types of sentences. They are simple sentence, complex sentence, and compound sentence. Before I deal with transformation of sentences, let us know what is clause. The clause is where there will be a subject and a predicate as a group of words, but that will not be considered as a full sentence. So the clause can be of two types. Those are independent clause and dependent clause. So I just wanted to make clear about the clause. So I just wanted to just tell you that clause versus phrases. So here words and phrases make up clauses. So clauses are units of grammar that contain at least one predicate, that is verb, and a subject. So this makes a clause different than a phrase because a phrase does not contain a verb and a subject. So in fact, the essential component of a clause is the verb. So and a clause only contains one verb or verb group. So a verb group can consist of a single word such as played, cooked, and swam, etc. So or contain helping verbs like will excel, will play, will cook, has been dreaming, etc. etc. Independent clause. Independent clause is a clause that contains both a subject and a predicate. And also it can stand alone as a sentence or can be a part of a multi-clause sentence. So it uses conjunctions such as or, for, nor, so, at, and but. Example, we visited Agra, but we did not go to Taj Mahal. Dependent clause. So dependent clause is a clause that have a subject and a predicate and cannot stand alone as a sentence and always be a part of a sentence on which it depends for meaning. So a dependent clause is of three types. They are adjective clause, adverb clause, and noun clause. Adjective clause or relative clause. An adjective clause or relative clause is like an adjective which comes before to change or modify the noun or pronoun by using who, which, that, where, when, whose, whom, whoever, etc. For example, this is a resort that we saw on the TV. Next, the lady who was our tour guide is an American. Next, adverb clause or adverbial clause. An adverbial clause or subordinate clause is a type of dependent clause which starts with subordinating conjunctions like because, although, when, if, until, as if, etc. etc. Example, the homeless guy spent the night on the road. Why did he spend the night on the road? Because he is homeless. Next, noun clause. In a sentence, when a clause functions as the complement, subject or object is called noun clause. So it starts with the same words that begin adjective clauses. Example, that, who, when, which, where, whether, why, how, etc. Example, what we saw at the Thor movie was amazing. So, students, to understand the types of transformation of sentences, we need to know the definition of the simple sentences, complex sentences, and compound sentences. Simple sentence. When in a sentence that has one independent clause, it is called simple sentence. For example, he confessed his illegal act. Complex sentence. When in a sentence that has one clause and one or more subordinate clauses, it is called a complex sentence. For example, he confessed that he was guilty of his illegal act. Compound sentence. When in a sentence that has more than one main clause, it is called the compound sentence. Example, I went to watch a movie named Justice League, but the movie was already houseful. So, now a simple sentence has just one clause. A complex sentence has one main clause and one or more subordinate clauses. A compound sentence has more than one main clause. So here we can change a simple sentence into a compound sentence or a complex sentence. This is usually done by expanding a word or phrase into a clause. So in the same way, we can change a complex or compound sentence into a simple sentence. This is done by reducing a clause into a word or phrase. Example, it is too late to start a new lesson. So here, as you can see, this sentence has just one clause and therefore it is a simple sentence. So the number of clauses in a sentence is equal to the number of finite verbs in it. So note that two infinitives and ing forms, that is ing forms, are not finite verbs. So the structure to can be replaced by the structure so that. So the same sentence, how we can change the same sentence, that is, it is too late to start a new lesson, by using the structure so that. It is so late that we cannot start a new lesson. So here, as you can see, this sentence has two clauses. One main clause, that is, it is so late. It is so late is a main clause. And one subordinate clause, that is, that we cannot start a new lesson. So we have already learned that a sentence containing one main clause and one or more subordinate clauses is called a complex sentence. Another example. He worked hard that he might pass the examination. So the above sentence is an example. The given sentence is an example of a complex sentence. So it has one main clause, that is, he worked hard. He worked hard is the main clause, and one subordinate clause of purpose, that is, that he might pass the examination. If he works hard, he might pass the examination, right? So subordinate clauses of purpose can be reduced to two infinitives. See how it is. He worked hard to pass the examination. Simple sentence. One more example. He ordered that the traitor be jailed. It is a complex sentence. So this sentence to can be converted into a simple sentence with the help of a two infinitives, two infinitives. How can we do this? He ordered them to jail the traitor. Got it? So, in the next session, let us deal with the concept and conventional rules of transforming between simple sentence and complex sentences. Thank you, students.